Hey everybody, Livingston here, and we're about to jump into The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the 2002 classic that came out 20 years ago. I can't believe that it's been that long since I watched this sucker in theaters. I did watch it once 10 years ago, but this is the first time that I'm going to watch the special edition version of this film. So it's going to be interesting to see the extended version of this movie along with the new scenes that I've never seen before, so it's going to be pretty cool to see that as well. And we're continuing on with the adventure of Sam and Frodo heading towards Mount Doom as Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli? Can't remember the name of these characters. There's a lot of them. I'm curious to see what new stuff is going to be thrown at me in this movie, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's jump into the adventure. The third time I've seen this movie, it's going to be interesting to see what I have forgotten. I love that score. The Lord of the Rings. The beautiful landscapes of New Zealand. Probably done with a helicopter back in that time. Now they can just do it with a drone. I remember when I walked into the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings, just being very intrigued with what I saw in the trailer. I've never read the books, but at that time I was just very into adventure, and still am to this day. It's interesting to see that these films haven't really aged all that much. They're very timeless. I think they'll last as long as the books themselves, other than the fact that the books came way before these actual films. Classic. Gotta revisit it. It's almost like revisiting that scene in Back to the Future where the DeLorean is going towards the clock tower. It's shown in all three films. They just didn't use this in The Return of the King. There was no sense in it. It's awesome to see it from his point of view. This must be one hell of a deep cavern. For them to fall as far as they did in the fight. I love this next shot coming up. I mean, look at how big it is. It's huge. I love that shot. It could be a poster or like a wallpaper on my computer. And they cut right to this scene, basically making you think it was some sort of dream when it really wasn't. The Two Towers. I love the little intros they have in these movies. Just a quick introduction to the actual world just by one scene of action. The first one being the actual battle between Middle-earth and Sauron. Good catch, Frodo. Horrible holding.
I think I found the bottom.
It's been so long, it's going to be hard for me to actually see where the new scenes I've never seen before are and the scenes that I've seen twice. This is only the third time I've seen this movie. In over 20 years, that's a feat. Let me know, comment below, are there any films or TV series that you revisit, but you do it like every 10 years just to like dive into that world again? The Lord of the Rings is my first one that I revisit about every decade. Number 2 is Band of Brothers, which is just a wonderful series to revisit. The producers of that same series, the Band of Brothers and the Pacific, are doing a third one, I guess, based on the aerial battles of that time during World War II. So that'll be interesting to see.
Real Elvish rope.
I love that Elvish rope. Mount Doom just doesn't seem that far away from this point.
The one place in Middle-earth we don't want to see any closer. I don't think Gandalf meant for us to come this way. He didn't mean for a lot of things to happen, Sam. But they did.
Just gotta take the moments as they come.
I see, Sam.
Like how this movie sort of gives like life lessons as we proceed forward in the journey.
What food have we got left? Well, let me see.
One bite will fill your tummy. The introduction of Gollum.
This looks strangely familiar.
Have you been going in circles? Yeah.
But where there's a nasty bog nearby. Can you smell it? I can smell it.
Me too. Might be my laundry.
You filthy little thieves.
This shot, this character right now gave James Cameron the go-ahead to do an Avatar film. At this point, he knew that his story that he wrote, I guess a decade prior in the early 90s, basically showed him like, okay, I guess my vision can actually come to fruition. And it's cool to see that this character, you know, still looks so good. Turns right into Smeagol.
The precious. Gollum. Gollum.
I don't know if that was part of the actual plan of the script, but when he goes, Gollum, Gollum, is that like something where he's like trying to get rid of the dual personality that he currently has? I don't know. Probably something they pulled from the book.
Ashes and dust and thirst there is and pits, pits, pits.
That's gotta be dialogue from the actual novel. It's gotta be. You heard into my conversation. I must leave.
Follow me.
Why? At this point, it's like, why should I follow you? Orcs. It's been a while since I was able to jog miles upon miles and not be winded by it. I really need to work on my stamina.
You're late.
That's what I love about this movie. The makeup. All practical. Merry and Pippin.
Give him some medicine, boys.
What is this medicine? Oh, is that like liquor? Because I'm all for it. If I'm being carried by these massive people, I definitely want some sort of hallucinogen to make me forget exactly what position I'm in.
You're hurt? I'm fine. It was just an act. An act? See? Fooled you too.
What is it? What do you smell? Man flesh.
Man flesh.
They picked up our trail.
Should probably get going. They're tracking him. He knows.
Their pace is quickened.
They know we're on our trail. I know there's some people out there that can actually catch a scent in the air. I just don't know what to focus on, I guess, when I'm smelling the air. So. That music. Smart Hobbit. Very smart.
Come, Gimli! We're gaining on them!
I'm wasted on cross country.
What's cool about watching Lord of the Rings is basically watching Orlando Bloom play his very first character ever. He was cast as the character of Legolas right when he was, I guess, graduating acting school, so that's pretty cool. Your first role being in the Lord of the Rings, playing an elf.
To stand against the might.
These shots here are very before its time. You got model work integrated with CGI, basically the CGI being anything that's moving outside of what the castle is. Or I should say the tower. Guys, you're going to regret this later. Still being birthed by the earth, I guess. It's pretty effective how they do the makeup in this. Which really saddens me when we dive into The Hobbit at some point in the future. I miss Christopher Lee being in movies in general.
For Saruman.
Shouldn't it be for Sauron?
Take back the lands they stole from you. But every delay.
The assholes of the human race.
Too long have these peasants stood against you.
Rohan, my lord, is ready to fall.
It would never fall. Never, sir. Not at all.
Theodred.
Find the king's son!
I don't think he's here, sir.
He's alive.
Who's this guy? This must be a deleted scene, because I don't remember this. Yeah, they definitely cut this, because I don't remember her being in this movie this early. I believe he dies, because in the theatrical version of this, he's already dead. They never have this part. They cut right into him being dead.
Saruman the White has ever been our friend and ally.
I actually met him one time, 2014, Twin Cities Film Festival. I was premiering one of my movies that I did, and Brad Dourif happened to be there, and I got to shake his hand and say, hey, how you doing? He's also the voice of Chucky, if you guys didn't know that.
When all the men are dead, you will take your share of the treasure.
Carl Urban, which at the time, I didn't know this was actually Carl Urban, and then, he actually made a name for himself after the fact playing Star Trek as Dr. McCoy, and he was also in Dread, which I always wanted to have a sequel to that, and they never had one, so that's pretty sad.
Your orders mean nothing!
But this order does not come from me. He signed it this morning.
Definitely a scene that wasn't in the original, because I don't remember this at all.
I think we might have made a mistake leaving the Shire, Pippin.
Yeah, I'd probably be saying the same thing.
What's making that noise?
The trees.
The trees.
My sentiments exactly.
Alive. Trees that could whisper, talk to each other.
I love that the score has a little bit of the theme of the trees that you'll hear in its grandiose form at the end of this movie.
Why can't we have some meat?
What about them?
They are not for eating.
I agree. Don't want to piss off the wizard. Whoops. Well, there you go. There's food for you.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Hooray.
Call for help. I'm gonna save you now.
All right. Just in the nick of time. Whoops. Cut to the next scene. Did they live? Did they survive? Tune in next time. No, it'll show us. Distant horse whiny. I like how it described it.
What news from the mark?
What did you say?
What business? There's an elf, a man, and a dwarf having the Riddermark.
Give me your name, Horsemaster, and I shall give you mine.
You don't have to be a dick about it.
I would cut off your head if it stood but a little higher from the ground.
It's kind of a dick move to say.
And of Theoden, your king. Theoden no longer recognizes friend from foe. Saruman has poisoned the mind of the king and claimed lordship over these lands. My company are those loyal to Rohan. For that, we are banished.
That sucks.
The Orcs are destroyed. We slaughtered them during the night.
Do you see 2 hobbits with them?
It would be small. Only children to your eyes.
We piled the carcasses and burned them.
No bueno.
May these horses bear you to better fortune.
That's awfully nice of you. Give us horses for free. See you guys. Thanks. Dear God, they're dead. Vigo actually broke his foot doing that, but it worked for the scene. They laid here. I saw it too. And he moved. Awesome.
Their hands were bound.
Good thing he tracks. They broke free.
Run!
Could you actually track somebody like this?
These tracks lead away from the battle.
I would be interested to know. But, I don't know, it seems a little like fiction. But there is a possibility that somebody can track just like these dwarves and hobbits and half-elves, half-human can do. Hey! It's the tree guy. Whoops. Don't run. He's a good guy. We're all good. We're all right. John Rhys Davies actually does the voice of this character, who also plays the character of Gimli, if you didn't know that.
Treebeard, some call me.
Treebeard, that's his name.
Nobody cares for the woods anymore.
I do.
Never heard of a hobbit before.
They're nice. They like to drink a lot and eat.
The White Wizard will know.
Haven't you heard the White Wizard is a bit of an asshole? Maybe this one's nicer.
Hurry, hurry, sis, hurry.
I don't know what it is, but when it comes to the storylines, the one when it comes to Sam and Frodo, I'm just not as into it when it comes to the other storylines. I would say this is probably last on my list, but at the same time, it's one of the most important storylines. But for some reason, I'm more drawn to the Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli storylines and Pippin storyline as well. Let me know, comment below, what storyline appeals to you more? Is it this one? Is it maybe the Gimli, Legolas, Aragorn storyline? Or is it the Pippin storyline? Let me know, comment below. The effects are so simple, but they are so effective at the same time, which is why this movie is timeless. Of course, you see certain things that are a little dated, but I can look past them. My precious. Don't look at it, Mr. Frodo. It's one thing about Elijah Wood's fingernails till he bites the hell out of them.
Precious.
What?
They do not see what lies ahead when sun has failed and moon is dead.
Definitely gotta be from the actual book, if I had to guess.
Black Riders!
Hide! Hide!
Those assholes. Oh yeah.
I thought they were dead.
gotta say, Samwise Gamgee is probably the hero of the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm just amazed at how the CGI still holds up in this movie. It seems like back in the day they knew how to hide the flaws. Today, there are some productions that don't hide the flaws as well as, say, ILM. It's amazing what the CGI looks like in this film. Blood. That's not good. Are we going to meet the White Wizard?
This forest is old, very old.
I like the feeling of an old forest.
Gimli.
I like that the trees are alive, talk to one another.
What do trees have to talk about, except the consistency of squirrel droppings?
The White Wizard approaches.
That guy's an asshole, man. Not quick enough. One of my favorite reveals in movies in general.
Show yourself!
It's Gandalf the White. I love it.
Forgive me.
You're forgiven.
I am Saruman.
Don't speak in riddles.
Rather Saruman as he should have been.
There you go.
I fought him, the Balrog.
What's crazy is at the beginning of the movie, you see him fall forever. And now he's fighting this beast on top of a peak of a mountain. It must be one hell of a peak he fell from.
And every day was as long as a life age of the earth.
The life age of the earth is a long ass time.
Gandalf? Yes. That was what they used to call me.
Now he's Gandalf the White. Good name.
In one thing you have not changed, dear friend. You still speak in riddles.
That is a pain in the ass. Just tell me straightforward, my friend.
The Ents are going to wake up and find that they are strong.
When you have trees on your side, I would probably say you have the advantage. I would like trees on my side. Wish I can whistle like that. Oh, a horse. I imagined that there was somebody on the other side of that hill that smacked that horse on the ass so I can gallop into the frame. The things I think about when I'm actually making movies myself. Action! Smack the horse on the ass.
Stay. Upon your head.
They seem bored.
Crown you bore aloft.
You can kind of tell in this scene the disadvantages of CGI at the time.
You might call it,
but it's very minuscule. It's not that in your face. The key is getting the lighting right, getting the coloring right around the characters that you're putting into these CGI scenes, and they did a very good job doing that, and that's why it still holds up, I think. Even though I can kind of see some of the flaws that the CGI and the practical doesn't match up quite right. Oh, I don't remember this shot.
The ring remains hidden, and that we should seek to destroy it has not yet entered their darkest dreams.
It's an effective scene, but I can't understand why they cut it out. I don't remember seeing that in the original theatrical cut, how the gate operates. Why would they cut that? I guess just for time. Jeez, Sam. Pretty smart. I don't remember this part at all. Let me know, comment below. Was this a deleted scene, or was that actually part of the theatrical cut? Because I don't remember that part at all.
You just said something tree-ish.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't remember this. This seems like an extended scene, or just a new scene in general.
I'm the tall one. You're the short one.
Whereas me, I'm pushing 3'7". 3'8".
He grew some more. What is he drinking? This is definitely a deleted scene because I don't remember this at all. Why is this tree angry?
Away with you.
I can understand why they cut this out. It just didn't really go with the story. It kind of basically takes away from the actual journey. It was weird. It was a good way, good cut, good call. I agree. I believe they cut this out as well. I don't remember this part at all.
He must have died sometime in the night.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's hard to keep up with what scenes were cut and not. Yeah, I believe they cut that scene out and had it where she just walks out, because I remember this being a little more fluid. I love that music. It's almost like a symbolism of the fall of Rohan, in a way. It's not what it used to be. I believe that is real. They built it for real, but everything that was below in the village was not. Looks like they kind of based Rohan on Viking lore, Nordic. The way they have some of the symbols, like on the pillars, it almost looked like knots woven with like Celtic, Nordic.
Your staff. Oh, you would not part an old man from his walking stick.
Let him through. He's actually pretty nimble for an old man.
Why should I welcome you?
He's Gandalf.
Last spell I name him. Ill news is an ill guest.
Keep your forked tongue behind your teeth.
What a line.
Stop.
How'd you not notice that in his hand? No, let this happen.
Theoden, son of Thengr.
Even his name, Odin, it's like the Odin. Come on. Which happens to be my last name. I wear white now.
Wait.
What are you doing?
Rohan is mine. Be gone.
I don't think it's yours anymore, bro. I like this little transition, this subtle effect of him going from old to his more youthful self. It's very well done. It still holds up wonderfully.
I know your face.
Yay, I got my uncle back. How long's it been?
Dark have been my dreams of late.
Love the dialogue in this. I'm sure that was a lot of it pulled from the book. So monumentous. Probably a stuntman who did that one and not Brad Dourif. Ew. That's how germs are spread.
Where is my son?
He's dead. Yeah, I don't remember this part. I believe it cut right to this. We never saw the funeral. I agree with that cut. You don't have to see the funeral to know that this man has passed. And just in this conversation alone lets you know that he is grieving. Streamlines the story a little bit more.
Where is Mama?
Probably dead.
Open war is upon you, whether you would risk it or not.
He speaks wisely.
300 lives of men. I walk this earth, and now I have no time.
300 lives of men would be 3,000 years, roughly.
First light on the 5th day. At dawn, look to the east.
I like that little breath he took. Like, here it goes. Another adventure on my own.
I've heard of the magic of elves, but did not look for it in a ranger from the north. You speak as one of their own.
I'm half elf.
Turn this fellow free. He has seen enough of war.
Doesn't want to go back. Understandable.
Gandalf the fool. Does he seek to humble me with his newfound piety?
Piety means the quality of being religious or reverent. Some of these words I don't even know. It's not nice to practice when everyone's like trying to leave. Yep.
Those without swords can still die upon them. I fear neither death nor pain.
I kind of do. I don't like being in pain. I don't fear it.
Hey, Stinker, don't go getting too far ahead. Call him names. Run him down all the time. Because that's what he is, Mr. Frodo. There's not left in him but lies and deceit.
Yeah, I do get that, but there is some inner turmoil that you see when he's by himself talking between Smeagol and Gollum.
Wicked, treaty, false.
This is exactly the inner turmoil I was talking about.
Master's my friend.
I think it's taken about 20 years, but Andy Serkis is finally getting the accolades that he deserves. He's an actually really good actor. I mean, to do these roles, to play Caesar in the Apes films, the trilogy, even his work as Snoke, I mean, he just does stellar work, and he's very much a character actor that happens to work in the CG realm of things.